All right, so boy calls me and says, how much can he more can he give just to get the body without the motor tranny, and some other stuff. And I said I'm $200. So for a total of $600 because he gave me an exhaust system. So you figure he gave me two, gave me another two, that's four. Gave me the exhaust system is another $200. So you're talking $600 to get the body. I might give him my 18-inch wheels to go with it, because I think they'll look better on this Cutlass than they do on my Regal. And the he said he knows a guy who has a complete Grand National setup, 3.8 V6 turbo, transmission, harness, intercooler, all that stuff, everything except for the downpipe. And I said, man, I like that. That's a good idea, you know. So he says, all right, so let's do it that way, and just bring in the body. And but then he calls me back, the next day. He says, his buddy Ashley doesn't want to help him put it in. And so let's go back to the original plan. I said, nah, hell with that, man. I said, if you want to help, I'll put the motor in. You know what I'm saying? But that's a good deal. That's a good deal, because those motors, you can spend $2,500 for a harness and an engine by itself. So to get all them parts for only $1,500 is a good deal. And I think it's good, man. It's a good wow factor when you pop your hood and somebody sees that you got a turbo under your car, not the basic 350, and it'll get just about as good power as this, and it'll get better fuel economy. It's gonna be lighter. So I like that deal, and I'll help him put it in. So, but until then, I guess I'll pull the motor out in July, maybe before that. But until then, I bought some new poly locks, some Mr. Gasket joints to put on here, and see if I can get this cam, these lifters to stop popping around, man, making all this noise. The problem with this is it's got these self-locking nuts on the rockers, and they don't turn very easy. They don't turn very easy, so it's hard to make an adjustment on them with your fingertips. And while the motor is running, that's why it took so long. That's why I got so much oil on the ground. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it with the EOIC, which is exhaust opening intake closing method. And I'm gonna pull the plugs, and I'm gonna put these on and see how we do. See if we can get rid of this tap. If not, so maybe we don't have to pull this cam so early. Just found out something interesting about this engine. That rocker I couldn't get to keep from tapping was having an issue down in here. Seems that the bolt to the intake, right through that hole right there, was pushing the push rod slightly to the left, and that's probably why I couldn't get a good adjustment on it. That's why it's acting up. I don't see, man. I gotta see if the push rod is bent, man. That's interesting. Just realized that. Gotta check the other side also. Well, I was right. The push rod was pushed over to a little bit, causing a misadjustment in the rocker. The rockers are self-guiding, so the rocker wasn't sitting directly over the top of the valve stem. It was tap, 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 tap. It was readjusted. All good. The carburetor is still spitting back, and I know the timing is good. I did find one wire that had looked like a cut in it, so it looked like it had been sparking. sounds healthy now. Carburetor needs rebuilding though. Valve covers are leaking. Gaskets are shit. Okay, I got it to start and run and idle. That right side of the engine is very, very hot. Very, very hot. I'm thinking that the idle mixture is really rich on that side, and it's causing the pipes to cherry over there, and it's causing it to get really, really hot over there. So I'm gonna rebuild this carburetor, but at least it's starting right up and running. I found a couple of wires that were touching the header. That's why I was getting a backfire and miss. Headers were burning the wires. One spark plug wire came off. But she's running. She sounds really, really healthy after I put the poly locks in and adjusted the valve. Still spitting back like the timing is off. I have my suspicions about the timing chain, really, to tell you the truth. Or it could just be the carburetor. It could be just the car. But all right, so what I found was the intake had a bell housing bolt in the center, two of the center positions on the intake, and those two center positions, one of them protruded just enough to deflect the push rod on what was it, number 5 exhaust, maybe. Yeah, I think it was number 5 exhaust. Deflected enough just to, so it couldn't be adjusted, because like I said, it's a guided rocker, and push rod off a little bit wouldn't allow the rocker arm to sit properly on the valve stem. All right, but curiosity is over. The engine is running fine. I'm not gonna post this video yet, but it's coming up.